Why our candidates, the Hispanic candidates in Oklahoma, they keep losing?
Well, that's a hard question to answer, and I wish I had a simple answer for you, because we're mystified too, in that we thought we had 4 great candidates for office this election cycle, and we certainly thought that Michael Brooks Jimenez especially had a great chance to win. We really thought he was going to, and from what we have come to understand, his consultant did not think that the precincts that were over in Canadian County were big enough to make a difference, and evidently they didn't campaign hard over there, and he carried Oklahoma County and did a great job here and would have won if it was only Oklahoma County, but apparently the lack of support over in Canadian County was enough to doom his election. But we were very surprised by that. We certainly thought he was going to win.
Now, these are Democratic candidates. Do they have the support of all the Democratic Party in Oklahoma?
Well, absolutely. Unfortunately, we're Democrats, which means that we're with working people. You know, we're for the downtrodden and the working people, everyday people. We're not normally supported by millionaires and billionaires, so that means we don't have as many resources as the other party does. So we're kind of the underdog. But nonetheless, we certainly gave our candidates the full support of everything that we had. And we feel like the main thing that we have to offer is an excellent voter file that tells our candidates who are registered voters, where they live, and their voting history. In other words, whether they vote in just presidential races, or if they vote all the time or part of the time vote in city council races or whatever. So that's one of the main things that we have to offer.
What do you guys found in the case of Mary Sosa?
Well, we thought Mary was also another excellent candidate, and I personally helped to talk her into running. Not that I have anything against Representative Shane Stone. He's a Democrat too, and we're glad to have young people in the party and be active. But we thought Mary was an excellent candidate. I really thought she would win, and of course in the primary, she came within just a small portion of votes.
Do you think that in the Democratic Party also we have this illness, this social illness of discrimination or racism?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that Oklahoma still has some racism here, and I think that was evident in the past presidential primary when President Obama was on the ballot in 2012, and Oklahoma's got 77 counties, and there were 3 or 4 counties that he came in third, even though he was the incumbent president. So I think that that's good evidence that there is still racism in Oklahoma. It's sad to say it, but it's true. Well, I believe that we have to motivate the Hispanic voters, and we have to motivate the people that could register to vote but haven't, because obviously if they would register and vote, they could control their own destiny. They could elect their own city council people. They could elect their own Senate and House member. They could elect people to the school board.
How bad it was for you guys in Oklahoma?
Well, I don't think it was as bad as everybody thinks it was. The truth is we had 6 counties in the state of Oklahoma turn blue. Our candidate for governor, Joe Dorman, received 46 or a little over 46% of the vote in Oklahoma County. The Republicans spent $20 million against us, and we spent $2.7 million. So there were some glimmers of hope. We actually won a House seat in House District 45. It's the first time, I believe, in 15 years that a Democrat actually beat an incumbent Republican. We picked up 2 city council seats in Tulsa. So there were some points of light, or some lights of hope in the election cycle. Well, I think this is the first time in probably about 10 or 15 years that the state Democratic Party and the Oklahoma County Democratic Party actually created a plan for absentee ballots and early vote. And what we realized is that Democrats normally lose the absentee ballots but can win the early vote. And so that's the chairman and the other officers in the state party actually put together a plan to increase turnout. And that's why we believe Michael Brooks Jimenez was winning the absentee vote and the early vote. But the truth is that in the Hispanic community, there has to be a group of individuals who help us eliminate the fear of voting. And we believe that maybe when the president signs his executive order dealing with the immigration issue, that maybe it will help eliminate some of that fear.